So good evening to all our viewers from wherever you are in the world. We're preparing to watch the South African elite men versus the New Zealand elite men. I've got Jarks here.
Hi, I'm Jack from South Africa, and it's good morning for the people in South Africa, for those who are awake, because we are 8 hours behind this time, so it's about 2 o'clock, 2:30 in the morning in South Africa. And I've seen a lot of people that were still awake watching the Masters men play their game. Arnie from Australia sitting here next to me is one of the biggest legends of underwater hockey that you can find, and he acknowledged that fact. 7 world titles.
And I'm only good for commentary now. So we're at the same level, Jarks.
At least I'm still a referee, Arnie.
Yay! So I'll just go through the team list. New Zealand elite, number 13, Charlotte O'Connor. Number 9, Claire George. Number 5, Eloise Sharp. Emma Ray is the captain. And number 7, number 4, Georgia Child. Number 3, Hannah Kerwood. Number 8, Josie Hunt. Number 2, Lee Chamberlain-Gunn. Number 6, Marika Bavlar. Olivia Coulter is number 12. 10, Rebecca Dean. And Zoe Hulston rounds it out at number 11. Jack?
Yes, on the South African side, we've got Eleanor, Helen, Jeannie, Julie, Keandra, Lisa, Michelle, Petronelle, Roche, and Tatum. For those who don't know, Helen and Lisa are sisters, and their dad is playing for the Masters men. They're all here in the Goldie, as they say here, not the Gold Coast, to play in this 21st CMAS Underwater Hockey World Championships. What a lovely setting today.
Some of your experienced players in your team, Eleanor?
I discovered Eleanor many years ago from the first academy that I presented. She and a couple of kids arrived at the pool wanting to play underwater hockey, and from the first day when I saw her, I said to myself, here is a kid that we need to look out for in the future. And
a gun, eh?
Look at her today.
And sorry, it's Jack, but I call it Jark because I've tried to put that Afrikaans sort of spin on your surname or on your Christian name.
Most people that gives me telecalls out of China call me Jark as well, so don't feel bad. Okay, we've got 40 seconds before we start and kick off this game.
What do you expect from your South African girls today?
It's a very good side. I hope to see that they can build on what they've done this morning.
Match the Kiwis as long as they can?
We're going to give the Kiwis a run for their money.
All right. I'm looking forward to that then, because the Kiwis are a good team.
They're the
current world title holders, so I'm assuming they're going to be as good as they were last time, if not better.
Well, South Africa come from being world champs in 2016 to 4th in Quebec City in 2018, and 5 years later, here we are. Let's see what's going to happen.
And there's a strike. New Zealand win the strike by a metre or so, and there's a lot of energy immediately by the Kiwis. So South Africa have to sit back and give possession to the Kiwis for a blocking foul, I think. That was a really good flick. Very
massive flick.
Yes. But a good catch and good exchange of possession by the South Africans. But it looks like the Kiwis have regained possession and making a second effort here. Geez, they look quick.
That was quite a good sprint by New Zealand. South Africa down there.
This is a really good build-up by New Zealand early in the match. And you've got a Kiwi right on the corner of the tray. Good positioning.
Yeah, they're well spread out there in front of the goals.
But great defence by South Africa. And a good run by that winger. Fantastic run.
So as we look at what you see on the screen, you see a lot of bubbles. The sun is actually setting in the direction that we are looking towards our eyes. So where the shadow side is where the sun comes from, and it's also very difficult in the day to ref and look at the game from this side as the sun is shining straight into your eyes.
So this arm wrestle, it looks like South Africans wrestled it back, and they're well and truly in the New Zealand defence.
Yeah,
a good reply by South Africa after that initial onslaught.
That was really a good reply, yes. But
we have a stop in play. And South Africa has infringed, and the Kiwis are going for a quick sub and have possession.
A big shout out to Sean Quinn. Apparently 2 Michaels in here, Jason sitting here next to me, Ali on camera, and a lot of people that are making it possible for us to watch this game. We're sitting here in a control room with screens and wires and keyboards and gaming devices and things with numbers, and you can replay and you can switch from one camera to another camera, and Jason doing a sterling job here as New Zealand.
Really making a great fist of their free puck in the middle of the goal, and have taken it from their half all the way to the defensive wall. So Kiwis have got a free puck, 6 metres out, hard on the right against the South African girls. We've got a player maybe out for one.
It looks like, yeah, there was a substitution error and the referee...
And Kiwis are not mucking around, they're getting straight into it. They've gone straight into the corner. Kiwis are not scared to do that. But neither are the South Africans in defending that either.
Yeah,
oh, this is really good, strong work. Yeah. This is really strong work by the Kiwis.
Oh, I thought there was a bit of gloving up the wall.
Yes.
So the big mistake that most players do when they play up the wall. If you're right-handed, you play the right-hand wall. Turn your stick around. Use the front of your stick.
Or the end of your stick.
Or the end of your stick.
Keep your glove as far away from the puck as possible.
Yes, but
if it jumps up and then lands on your glove, most refs will allow that. But if you hit it straight with your fist, but then the Kiwis have got possession again and got that puck, so I don't know what that call was for. This is a really good impetus. They're in.
New Zealand scoring the first goal after 4.5 minutes of play in the first half. Piling on the pressure right from the start. South Africa had a little bit of an answer for that, and then New Zealand just showing some muscle again.
But it was a power play situation. Zoe scored the goal, but Zeander was out for a minute, so the Kiwis were actually playing against 5. So not that that's an excuse, but the power play situations do give you an advantage.
Kendra playing back is a solid back, so I think they really missed her there in that position.
This is a really great spear play by New Zealand. South Africa's been able to shut it down, which is great, and bring it to the wall, but New Zealand has been able to recycle that possession, and we have a break in play again. So New Zealand back, South Africa's puck. Chopping.
Okay, once again, for those who missed that interesting fact, everybody knows Venice with all the water pathways and canals around, but the Gold Coast is infamous for 260 kilometers of canals that you can navigate your boats up and down and drive around. Like I said, go and look on Google Map and look down on the Gold Coast. You'll be surprised at what you're going to see there from the top.
Another break in play while Jack's been promoting the Gold Coast of Australia. So again, chopping by South Africa, so New Zealand puck, sort of 9 metres out, hard left in the defensive half of South Africa.
Arnie, when did you start playing underwater hockey?
When I was 17, as training on the winter months, I'm a spearfisher, and made the Australian team at the age of 20. Went to my very first Worlds in '86. We came second to Canada. That's effectively the only title I've lost, and then effectively won the next 7 that I were lucky enough to play for or coach. And yeah, been very, very fortunate in my career. I've also been successful at spearfishing, won 3 national titles and 11 state titles in WA. And so I've been around the underwater fraternity for many years, but now in my retirement, I'm sure a few of your compatriots back home hate that face because I've cost you a couple of world titles, sadly.
Arnie, I've just posted Arnie's picture here on the supporters group. Legend in Australia, winning 7 world titles, many of them consecutively in the 80s and 90s, keeping all other countries out off the podium.
I think your super coach, Jimmy, knows me very well. He's the poor guy that I love to death, and we were opposing coaches for many, many years, and I love him to death. I know he's got some health problems, but yeah.
Jimmy did answer to a message earlier. Did Kelly play with you in those days?
He did in '86, but didn't make any teams after that. So 1986, when we come second, Kelly was in the back line in our team. I was our centre, basically centre all the way through. And Graham Henderson, the president of our AUF, was a player and then later coached me in Rouen, France, where we beat South Africa again.
Yes.
Beat South Africa in Durban. Again, Jimmy coaching. And Portugal. Great goal by New Zealand. Great work up. Sorry that we're talking frivolously in the background for you Kiwi listeners and viewers. Look, your team is looking really, really good against South Africa at the moment, and they're piling on 3 quick goals here. So, yeah. So, no, the good history there. Played. Look, I really do love. I've got a really good relationship with the South African players that I played against, and we respect each other as we do with great adversaries, you know. So here we go for a strike, another one won by New Zealand, and these power plays by New Zealand are really so successful for them. Their structure, look at this, from the strike.
Yeah, New Zealand showing you why they are the world champions, but unfortunately that goal was not allowed. Some illegal stick work.
But for the viewers, that's textbook support and drive from the strike that, as a coach, you would love your team to be able to do.
Yes, you need numbers on the bottom and support. Don't go up if you lose the puck.
Trust your teammate for getting it back in front of you.
Yeah, South Africa putting in a good effort here to keep New Zealand out of the goals.
I think there's a timeout here.
A timeout called by South Africa, yes.
So I think the South African coach wants to have a bit of a chat and refocus. I'll be curious to see the improvements in the team now. But look, they're not far off the mark. They've just got to get their numbers on the bottom and tighten up their spacing, because there's too many holes for the Kiwi onslaught to get through. I've always coached that, you know, let the opposition flick between your teammates, but don't let them swim between you two. And that's a rule I've always worked with, and that sort of tidies up the spacing. You know, if people are swimming between you and your teammate, then your spacing's too wide.
Well, there you've got it from a legend. Some very wise words to those coaches who might be watching it in the future, reruns of this game. Again, a shout out to Harry Mills from the Gold Coast here at the Broadwater swimming pool.
South Africa's got the puck, taking possession, but a loose pass was caught by the New Zealand winger, and we're back into a contest on the wall. Great vision here on this side of the court where we've got good lighting. South Africa's really made an improvement. Obviously, whatever the coach said, he definitely got the whip out.
Yeah, they got clear instructions of what to do. But in that process of attacking, South Africa also
So
losing.
exuberant, they've just overstepped.
Okay, 4 minutes to go in the first half.
If South Africa holds New Zealand goalless for the next 4 minutes, I think they will be keeping the coach as happy as he can, that they've listened to the instructions and executed them. But New Zealand have tried to get away from, I think it's 3, but 2 or 3 goals New Zealand have. There was one disallowed that might have confused me. We just haven't got it up on our screen. But yeah, look, the build-up again by New Zealand. So we've got New Zealand is right up in the defensive end on the right-hand side for South Africa. South Africa's got another 3 minutes to defend. But it looks like it's a good arm wrestle now.
Yes.
Certainly since the timeout. South Africa's really matching their intensity.
Elise must have given them some good words of advice.
Elise and I are very good friends. Yeah. She used to play when I played. I'm sure she still plays, but
yeah, she's
play. Such an experienced competitor. She's the perfect leader for this young team.
One of the South Africans getting thrown out there for an infringement. New Zealand still leading 2-0 with just under 3 minutes to go.
And New Zealand are trying to spread the South African defence, and that's a really good move. But we've got good defence here, but they're very, very good at what they do.
South Africa, every time they've had somebody out of the water,
no goal.
New Zealand got to the goals, but luckily the goal was not allowed.
But again, for you viewers, that's a great execution of a line drive by New Zealand. They switched the play, spread the defence, and then got numbers and basically swum as a rolling maul into the goal. So there should have been someone there from South Africa there, expecting to go towards a sub-bench where they can get some fresh legs in the pool and rotate players. So if South Africa can hold that there a little bit, we can get some new players in.
Once again, like you said earlier, with a drive there, the numbers on the ground from New Zealand
are overwhelming. I just thought from that free puck that taking it to the sub-bench was the natural thing to do, especially with a player down. Hold the puck on the wall, rotate a few fresh players in, and then you can attack with 5 fresh players versus 6.
All these things come with experience. It is
and opening the game up, but they've got their 6th player in, so that's fair enough. South Africa taking it on man, to New Zealand and doing a great job with this line drive. But stolen away. Maybe that was an infringement. I don't know, but another good line drive by New Zealand and recirculating the possession to the back line.
South Africa lacking the numbers there and support when they attack. There's nobody there that can help. And that looks like New Zealand scoring their 3rd goal.
And as you see, the defence is quite exhausted, having to follow them around the pitch, the court. So far, a very, very good professional execution of the game. Good goal by Josie Hunt.
Half-time here at the Gold Coast. That kickoff was very trivial. Could have swapped sides after the goal was scored.
I think for South Africa, you're swimming downhill next half, so that may help.
Yeah, with the sun slightly from behind.
Yes, exactly.
Allez, temps mort pour les Noirs cette fois-ci, alors que le but a été...
Yeah, another interesting fact
Go for it, Jack.
Because there's miles and miles of endless beaches here in the Gold Coast. Beautiful. Actually, I haven't had time to get to the beach. Hopefully, after this game, I'm going to head down to Surfers Paradise.
A few less wide
and
pointers
explore
that
it.
you normally run into back in South Africa. A few less wide pointers than you usually run into.
Yes, for sure. I'll stay on the beach. But the Gold Coast of Australia had the largest professional lifeguard service in Australia, is it the world, with over 40 patrol beaches. So I presume it's just the Gold Coast alone. Have 40 of the beaches patrolled. A lot of lifesavers around here. Everybody is always sharp and on duty.
I'd be curious to know what Lisa is saying to your girls. Be nice to maybe pick her brains after this match, because you've got a young team and they're growing, and her focusing on certain aspects of the game just to tighten up their structure and to help them believe in each other so they can support each other on the bottom.
There's a couple of youngsters in there, lots of them. I think Eleanor, Lisa and Helen comes from the under 19 ranks, where they were world champions in 2017 in Spain. So they have junior experience. Like you said earlier, South Africa not down there with the numbers. We don't support one another and leaving gaps on the defence for New Zealand to flick the puck through. So if we can close those gaps and get some numbers on the bottom, we might see a more competitive second half here.
Yes, and like I mentioned, in flicking through the lines, I've never as a coach been concerned with that, because I expect my backs to pick that up. It's the follow through. That puts the back immediately under pressure. Yeah. So if the forwards or the line that they're flicking through protect the back line, then the back line will do their job predominantly well, and the confidence starts to build between the lines. The confidence between players laterally and longitudinally are really important. So, yeah, they're flicking through, but they're also swimming through, and that's my concern at the moment. We've got 5 seconds to go for the restart in this match against South African Elite Women and the New Zealand Elite, and off we go. A good win to start with on the strike by the New Zealand extremely quick forward, and they've kept the pressure up and they're still moving it forward. Number 4, Jake Hocking, captain. So, yeah, that's a great effort and looks like a goal. No, good defence.
Oh, good defence. Ella Petronel protecting the goal there, making sure that
but New Zealand are still recycling that puck, and it goes in. So, the New Zealand defender did everything right, but she needed support once she got stopped, which was halfway along the wall, and that support wasn't there, and therefore New Zealand's recycled that puck back in the goal.
Shout out for the South Africans that's awake. Erin Boras watching as well. Still didn't go to bed. Saw her earlier comments when she was watching the other games going.
That goal was by Leah Gunn. Maybe she is a gun. That's maybe why she's called a gun, if she's going to continue scoring goals like that. Still a great strike by New Zealand. The numbers, the triangular positioning between each other is just textbook. But South Africa's managed to steal it off that, and now that triangle of South African players are there, and that shows. It sort of keeps that possession from rotating through, but they all came up at the same time, and then off New Zealanders go again.
South Africa looks like battling, keeping the numbers on the bottom and getting a hole through the Kiwi defence, which is pretty solid today.
Break in play. South Africa gloving or stopping the puck with a glove. Kiwis have the puck 6-7 metres out, almost directly in front of goal. Good catch by a South African forward. And you notice Kiwis bring it back to recycle the puck, and she's done really well to move it, but it's been stolen.
Okay. Oh, South Africa is getting that puck with a little bit of barging.
Again, Kiwis 6-7 metres out, hard right hand side of the defensive area for New South Africa.
Okay, just here on YouTube, a great shout out to Jace. Great camera work. Jason, you are mentioned here on the stream. Jason can't hear me. He's totally focused on giving you the shots you want to see.
Yeah, totally. Oh, thank you for the shout out. Oh, great work. Yes, Jace, thank you. Oh, we've got good vision here with the girls playing. I think I'll put a message out to the girls to make sure they played on this side so that we can see the whites of their smiles. And we're appreciating both teams playing on this side so we can see intimately what they're doing. South Africa's puck. Good little low flick, skidded through, and I think their players have managed to gain possession and pull it across the pitch. Kiwis in pursuit, but that South African winger is still on the bottom supporting that run, which is that's great. Now she's just leaving.
Michelle that's done all that hard work on the bottom, unfortunately.
And here we go. I think she'll be back in there now on this side.
Yeah.
And she's recycling it.
That's Michelle getting the puck now.
Yep.
And a nice...
Great work back to a player. And she's going to be back in the fray right now. She's doing a lot of work here. Good work.
Good bottom time there from Michelle.
And she was infringed after that good work. So now she's basically created a free puck in front of goal. Well done. Prime chance for South Africa to score one back. And the Kiwis have been smart and calling a timeout, maybe to reset their defence.
I think the referees have put the puck on the wrong spot, and a timeout called by New Zealand.
Yes.
First time South Africa is right here in the New Zealand half.
Police will come in and hopefully create a set play for the South Africans to manipulate and execute a goal.
Oh, Louis Venter, I see you still awake. Do you occasionally read your rules that I've given to you? Have you made marks on those papers?
Is that because he's got a really bad memory? He has to write them all down to memorize them?
We had a rules discussion, so we
here
gave
we go.
Louis some rules to read.
You told him how to think. I like it. Okay. The puck was caught by the New Zealand forward, but South Africa's trying to recycle it across the pitch, but it's been caught out. Great interception by that. And they're all swimming together. A fantastic group. A rolling maul. But South Africa did really well to stop that rolling maul.
A couple of players substituting, accidentally swimming into the ropes. That's why the camera was bouncing there.
Obviously infringed. South Africa infringed. New Zealand puck. Let's see what they can do from this. Attacking the centre of the court, which is very smart. No point being too defensive now that you're quite a few goals up. This is really good work, but great defence by South Africa. And South Africa have won the puck back. Well done.
Okay, New Zealand scoring only one goal so far with 8.5 minutes almost to go in this half. Will South Africa be able to get a goal? Eleanor passing the puck there under her body. Unfortunately, right into the hands of a Kiwi player.
Recycling that puck, that's going to be difficult to hold out.
Yeah. Well done.
Did that go in? No? Yes? I think it did.
Yep. Interesting that the puck came out in that sweep.
But it definitely hit the bottom of the tray, or the bottom. These trays don't have a bottom of a tray. It's actually the tiles. So they're basically a ramp, the correct size, and the puck basically falls back onto the tiles. So that goal, I think, was by number 4, Jake Hocking. And again, not taking a foot off the pedal with the strikes, driving out with them at full velocity. And look at this pressure the whole way to the rear wall from the strike. Well done, New Zealand.
Yeah, New Zealand constantly having the numbers on the bottom. You never see one player on their own.
And look at this.
With the puck.
I think there was a little bit of gloving there that might have been picked up, but cleared. Maybe playing advantage for South Africa. South Africa's definitely under the pump here, but have won a free puck and gained possession. So a breath of fresh air. But like Jack was saying, since half-time, South Africa have definitely stemmed the flow of goals against them. And that's to be commended to Coach Elise. And the players, of course, executing her strategy.
I think the girls will get a lot of confidence out of the second half, being able to, withholding the storm here by the current world champions. Roche getting into the play there, trying to get hold of the puck, but New Zealand protecting the puck very well there. Eleanor giving her best here in the middle. And Michelle again down on the bottom. You can just see the little pink flippers going up and down.
Someone that's just gone out, subbing, actually infringed.
Good drive there by Michelle, forcing New Zealand to make a mistake under pressure. And South Africa have a free puck.
6 metres out, hard right, back defensive, and let's see, they're trying to open up the face. Good, well done. And almost getting through. That was a really good drive. And a good clear by New Zealand. But, there we go. I told you that was a great offensive move. And all off trying to open the goal face up. So let's see if we can get that goal back that they truly deserve.
It's always a good idea not to go straight through the bait ball, as I call it.
Well, players nowadays are so good at catching the puck, so why go through them? Go around them.
Yeah, I think Eleanor will be one of the players taking this free puck.
This camera 3. Oh, she's going to defend this.
Yep. New Zealand
unless she caught it, might be a penalty goal.
No. A referee's indicating
penalty goal.
Referee timeout. They're going to quickly discuss here what has happened.
If that was a clean catch or not. You got to stay out of the discussion. Players can't help being drawn into the discussion.
Okay, while the referees are discussing there, did Willems join the chat here on the YouTube? Sterren Boysen as well, Benny Nudia, Louis Venter, still here from South Africa. Thank you guys for being up so late. Carol Graaf giving compliments to Michelle there. Yeah. thank you for the support. They get these messages afterwards. They look at the replays of the games on YouTube.
I'm seeing the ref put his hand against the wall, so maybe it was an illegal take in that she let the wall go and maybe left the wall early and caught the puck.
Yes, it seems like it's a touching issue.
So she's got to stay on the wall until they take the puck and then she can leave?
Yes, once the buzzer go, the attacking team has got 5 seconds to touch the puck. Once they touch the puck, the defending player, when the buzzer goes, has to have one hand on the wall, and once the attacking player touch the puck, they can leave the wall to defend the puck. And
the defending player's got to touch the wall as they go down, so the whole way they've got to slide their hand against the wall to show the referee that they've never left more than that distance from the wall. So it's a technicality, but obviously the referees are discussing that.
I think one goal could make a big difference for South Africa. It gives them some confidence.
Yeah, well and truly. Great confidence. Because that line drive was perfect. Perfect execution of a set play in front of goal.
In a close game, this is a huge call because it can turn the game around sometimes.
And for the growth of the team through this tournament. We're only on the second day, but this could really mean a lot for the team going for the next 5-6 days of matches, I guess.
Yeah, I'm not sure why the referees take so long to get to a discussion or a final decision on this. And eventually the goal was awarded.
So she may have stopped the puck legally, but it looks like she had her hand removed from the wall prior to the puck being taken. So technicality, she lost the ability to defend the penalty.
Yes. So if the defender makes a mistake or the attacker make a mistake during the penalty shot, it will go against you.
It's either defended or awarded. So that's great. South Africa's had a good 4-5 minute break to charge up and scored the goal. So I expect a much better return from South Africa now in the remaining 5 minutes. But it looks like it's really annoyed the Kiwi girls. They're really
just want to establish their authority again here, but South Africa absorbing the pressure pretty good, but a good bunch of black sticks coming in there.
And that was really good view. Oh, here we go. We've got a penalty the other way.
Okay, Petronel of South Africa in front of the goals. In that process on the attack with New Zealand, there was a sick infringement by one of the South Africans that prevented the goal from being scored, and that's why the penalty has been awarded to New Zealand. Okay,
we've got good vision here. Let's see. Watch the defender's hand slide down the wall. Let's go, but the goal goes straight in. So she's managed to deceive her, thinking she was going to go right. She went left, and it was straight in.
Okay, 4.5 minutes to go. Score 5-1 to New Zealand. And
I still believe that 1-goal-4 is really going to help these girls down the stretch. Scoring a goal against the world title holders and seeing what it's like to be the title holder, how they play. It's all about numbers, all about spacing. That's got to direct them in the right direction.
Yeah, New Zealand again winning the kickoff there. New Zealand.
Oh, that's a great steal by South Africa. There were 2 and 3 New Zealanders there, and she came out with a puck.
I think it's. Unfortunately, I don't have the number sheet in front of me, so we don't really, sometimes difficult to recognize the players, to give you the exact names of the players, who's doing what. But South Africa slipping there on the wall, and again, look at it, 2 New Zealand players on the bottom,
Very
staying down, staying
Very
down.
quick. And look at the numbers behind.
But
and
good.
again, the recycling of possession and the trust between players that the puck will come back.
A lot of passes going past the defence of South Africa. And New Zealand not really putting a lot of pressure.
I think they're
up on the corner there, being up 5-1 at the moment.
Recycling and waiting for the right opportunity, I guess, is the best way to explain it. You see this New Zealand defender out wide. She expects to receive it.
South Africa getting out there, but with some illegal actions, barging one of the Kiwi players out of the way.
And I would assume that the Kiwi, in taking this puck, will move it to the centre of the court to open the face. Elise has called a timeout for South Africa to have a bit of a chat, maybe settle them down.
Okay, and there you see Lynn and Kathy, the managers for the SA teams, running around making sure you get all the information. A big shout out to the two of them for keeping everybody up to date, what's happening in the South African camp, and making sure that the logistics are flowing properly.
All right, we got 20 seconds of timeout left. Let's see the set play set by New Zealand and the defensive structure set by Elise. Let's see how this pans out.
Hey, Franco van der Merwe daar van Bloemfontein, baie welkom vir jou ook, dat jy wakker is om hierdie wedstryd te kyk. Ek weet nie of jy besig om sokker te kyk nie, want dit is 'n sokker exclamation.
Time out, I think. All right, looks like we're almost ready. Okay. Referees had to set themselves.
Interesting lineup here. All the Kiwis from behind.
To see where they're going, opening up the face, and they'll bring it back to the ones waiting. But great defence by South Africa. To trust themselves, follow what the Kiwis are doing, and trusting they'll come back and protect the weak side.
Yeah, South Africa having a much better second half here. But still New Zealand driving there, getting close to the goal.
See how they set their winger up on the wall.
Yeah.
Illegal screen.
Okay, you notice that the clock stops in the last 2 minutes of the game. For every infringement in the last 2 minutes of play, the clock will stop to prevent some delaying tactics of teams.
Yeah, back in the day we didn't have that, and smart teams would delay. Being only a goal up, they could waste 2 minutes, you know, so we eliminated that by having all stoppages stop the clock.
Yeah, also the corner rule that has come into play, where you can only take the puck once into the corner and the second player has to take it out. It's also
again, that was part of the delaying tactics in the old days.
Yes.
We haven't got it. None of them. I've gone through all of them. Great run by New Zealand again, and great defence just to steal it off the last winger by South Africa. 42 seconds to go, and let's see if we can hold them out or New Zealand scores a goal.
Unfortunately, the
We just lost
referee
camera.
was
Yeah.
in front of the camera, so we won't be able to see the replay.
We should make a rule that referees can't have a behind that big so we can see past it.
Well, they've actually mentioned it to the referees, and it is sometimes difficult to remember that there's a camera in the corner.
Oh, are you backing the referees? You can tell you're a referee.
Yeah, I've a couple of times today hit the wall and then realized, okay, I shouldn't be against the wall because there's camera.
Yeah, get out of it. No, so the Kiwis have scored in the last couple of seconds of the match, and I think that may see it out. Well done to New Zealand. Well done to South Africa to really restrict the flow of goals that was there in the first half, and I think Lisa's got something to work with his team now that there is a fairly long round-robin tournament.
A bunch of youngsters, good for them to be gaining experience as New Zealand ends up winners of this match 7-1 and establishing their authority as world champions earlier in the competition. And Arnie, what a privilege meeting you and commentating with you. I hope I can do it one or two more times.
Yes, I think it
before the end
worked
of this
really well. I
tournament.
liked your banter, but certainly in the finals, less about the Gold Coast, more about the hockey, I think.
Okay, super. Thank you, Jason, for
Thank you,
camera
lad.
work. Thank you for everybody that woke up and watched the game. See you
And to
soon
all
again.
you
Bye.
Kiwis back home, well done to your team, and I'm sure you'll continue to support them throughout this tournament. Well done.
Just bear with us for 2 seconds. Let's just come over this way a little. I bet you've talked to a few people. Oh yeah, I just forget everybody's names. Right, welcome everybody. I'm here with the captain of the New Zealand Women's Elite Team. And people just keep walking in front of us like we're not here. Isn't that lovely? Yes, it's a busy pool. Congratulations, that was a really good win. What did you think of the game?
Yeah, thank you. I mean, South Africa's a really, really proud and tough hockey nation. Anytime we play them, it's got a long history, and they always push us every time, and they did that again today. So, awesome game, great to come out on top. But yeah, credit to a really feisty and tough South African side.
Physical game, was it?
Yeah, I mean, always is. I like to say to people, hockey's non-contact like basketball. You know, you're in each other's spaces and kind of giving a little bit. But yeah, really good quality refs at this tournament. So nice to have that one under control.
Excellent. Yes, it was a good win. The pictures looked great to us in the control room looking at it. What's your next match?
Don't know actually. So the structure of the comp, we're now into the second round and we're kind of taking it one game at a time. So now that we've got that one knocked off, we'll go and figure out the plan for the rest of them. But yeah, some awesome quality sides here. So whoever we're up against, it's going to be a tough match.
I love that fact of one game at a time. It's an age-old saying, but it's such a true saying, isn't it? The conditions, how was it with the sunlight where it was, and a bit tough at times?
Yeah, I think there's a few times throughout the day where you get part of the court in the sun and part in the shade, and when there's bubbles, I think some of our backline find it a bit hard to see where the puck's going, but it's just a new dimension for us. So, we'll look at the footage, and hopefully that's got some good bits in us for us to pour over.
All right, well, good luck with it moving forward, and good luck with the next game.
Thanks so much, and just a big shout out to all our fans at home. We appreciate your support, and thanks for cheering for us.
Thank you.